Hi, welcome to OMAT. These are the 8 essential exercises that really help me in my daily life. This habit continues my practice to be with myself and to be the best version that I could be for now, for today. Life is really hard. I don't know if you know, but there are experts saying that loneliness is a modern day epidemic right now. And I don't know if it's very surprising to us because we see that we don't casually bump into each other anymore ever since the pandemic. We've been working remotely now for a while, a lot of us. And stuff that we used to have to call each other about, like how does this work? What does this do? We could just Google that. And so I'm not immune to this. The loneliness creeps in for me. And when the pandemic first hit, I had to set up some situations for myself so that I don't go into the dark places in my mind that I have gone to before. One of the things that I did was set up every other week an invite to friends to meet digitally to play games. Another thing I did was my brothers and I agreed to meet once a week on a phone call for a check-in, for a hello. Another thing I did was my weekly meeting changed from physical to digital. I joined and made sure that I had a service position. I volunteered so that people expect me. All of these things keep me accountable because I know I might not want to socialize that day and I'll just keep getting more and more isolated and lonely. So I know I have to set this up. People expect me. I'm accountable and I show up. And when I show up, my thoughts get interrupted and I get to listen to other people. And this isn't easy to do and it's not perfect, but it is so worth it. Let's get into our exercises. Get present. Maybe you were getting present while I was talking. That's fantastic. But what we're doing is, because we're physically here, let's get our mental here as well. What does that mean? That means that I could be here, I could be looking straight at you, but thinking about all kinds of other things, and my body suffers for that. So let's get present. Maybe take a deep breath, let out a loud sigh. That's great. And let's get into our first exercise of gratitude. And we always have a reason to be grateful. Sometimes it seems like we're buried in other things that are going on in our mind that we're noticing, things that are difficult. But if we refocus, we're going to take practice to focus on what there is to be grateful for, then we can pull it when we need it. We can work that muscle. Let's try it out by looking for anything that we can be grateful for right now. Wrap that minute, have some water. Did you struggle through finding gratitude? That's fantastic. That's the struggle that we're looking for. That is the discomfort that we're working out in this same safe space. Let's continue into our meditation. For 1 minute, we're going to interrupt our thoughts as a practice. So when other people interrupt our thoughts, we're not as agitated. Interrupt your regularly scheduled thoughts. Let your mind know, don't worry, we'll get to think about that later, I promise. Let's think about maybe following our breath for now, maybe a little relaxation on every exhale. Let's sit in any comfortable position, eyes opened or closed, and breathe.
You only need to press the arrow key forward. You don't need to use the mouse, just the arrow key.
As we come back, let's have some water. And if that didn't go well, if you were distracted the whole time, then that's how it went now. There is no punishment here, not from anybody else. So let's not punish ourselves when things don't go right. Let's try the next thing. Let's try writing. Now, what is there to write about? You can write literally that. What is there to write about? I don't want to write. Whatever it is, find something, starting with one word and seeing where it goes. Let's write right now. Let's wrap the writing for now. Have a sip of water, and let's practice transitioning. Maybe the drink of water helps. Maybe just physically moving will help. Let's get into our yoga right now. If you could stand, stand. If you can't, do whatever you can from a seated position. Do whatever you can with whatever limitations, and let's strengthen what we have. Stand if you could stand, and inhale the arms up. Reaching up, looking up, feeling a little stretch in the back, making sure the shoulders are down even though you're reaching up with your arms. And when you're ready, hinge at the waist and fold forward. We're going to hang over our feet. Our head is below our heart. Maybe shaking the head no or yes. And if you want to, stay there for another moment before you halfway lift, flat back, look up. Let's get into that high plank. Plant your palms down, step your feet back, and then lower your body all the way down. And push against the ground, chest comes up, head comes up, look up, point the feet. And let's meet in down dog. Bend at the knees and pick up the hips into an upside down V with the body. Again, you could shake your head no or yes here, loosen up the neck muscles, and walk forward towards your hands. And stay there before you start rolling up at your time, meeting your palms above the head and exhaling them down to the center of the chest. And you notice we're not in a rush. There's always time for water. It helps us transition. Take a deep breath and let's go into our plank. We have some time to get our mind ready. Saying words to ourselves like, I'm going to do this today. That's it. Let's get into that ready pose. You're going to do this today. 3, 2, 1, up in plank pose. And that might be the toughest part. So get through your emotions and into that tough decision of that pose. That's 10 seconds in. And if you haven't made that tough decision to get moving into a pose that you are capable of doing, do it now. It's not too late. We're 20 seconds in. Make sure that you're breathing. Sing the Rocky song in your head if that helps. for 30 seconds, find what happens in your mind that helps you continue with your physical exertion here. For 20 seconds, what can happen in your mind? Maybe words like encouragement, like, look at me, I am doing it, meaning I could do it, and I could do it for another 10 seconds, one moment at a time. If we're not hurting ourselves, we're still there. For 3, 2, 1, and you're done. Come down off your plank and take your time. Catch your breath. Stretch your way back. Have some water. Have a little acknowledgement after every one of these exercises. Oh, I did that. Even if it was for 10 seconds, I shifted my mind, my focus, my body, and I did the thing. Keep going. Let's go into procrastination. Breaking the procrastination is what we're working on. Finding a small action is part of this challenging exercise. So let's look for one, see what happens when we take action right now. Let's wrap that task. Find some water. And these are 8 exercises. One of them is going to be more challenging than another on any given day. Let's just keep going into our connection minute. If you are having some sort of hard time or one of these exercises is more challenging, let someone know. If you're having a good time with one of them, let someone know that. It doesn't have to be good news, bummer news. It doesn't have to be anything. Let's see if we can connect. Looking for connection right now. Let's wrap for now. Have some water and have some understanding that this is not going to go perfectly well. It might have went a little feeling kooky, uncomfortable. That's all right. Let's keep going. Let's go into what we need to do right now, which is move our body. If we can get our heart rate going, great. If we can just walk for today, if we could just move our arms for today, let's do it, and do it in 3, 2, 1. Move your body. You have the ability to move in some way, exercise that way so you can keep having that muscle. And that's 10 seconds in. And for some, if you picked a very rigorous exercise, it's already getting challenging. Now we're going to practice meeting our challenge in this minute. That's 20 seconds. Noticing if we're not hurting ourselves, how much energy can I really put into this, knowing that it's only 1 minute long. And for 30 seconds, keep in mind, this isn't forever. So let's move for just this amount of time that we allotted. Let's keep going for 20 seconds. Make sure you're breathing. Maybe follow your breath, almost like it's meditation. And for 10 seconds, where is your focus? How is your movement going? Put whatever you can for 3, 2, 1, and you're done. Great job. Not perfect, which is fantastic. Thank you for practicing OMAT today.